Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning show. Good morning, Andy.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm doing really well, thank you.
It's spring, and we've had some spring weather. Yesterday, the high temperature was 67 degrees, which is unusual. Normal high for this time of year is 48, and that's where we're going to be today. Some rain is in the forecast, and right now, 40 degrees. You told me you were going to go play 9 holes.
I didn't.
No.
No, I didn't. I was too tired from my weekend. Daughter had soccer practice, but it was nice watching kids play outside. It was nice, and it was shorts and t-shirt weather, so it was good. That's kind of the theme of spring in Michigan. So
Yeah, it was.
don't put your winter clothes away yet.
Busy. Downtown, people were out. It was things were happening. Construction. There's a lot of construction going on. There was construction at City Hall yesterday. The old city seal, which featured Andrew Jackson on a horse, it's gone. Johnson Sign took him down
That was yesterday?
yesterday.
Okay.
Yep, and replaced it with the new logo for the city of Jackson, not the new city seal. So I don't know what happened, but looks cool.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks good. Other construction, I saw a safe being dragged out of the building across the street yesterday.
sink?
A safe.
Oh, safe. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on downtown. No, people have been itching to be out and about. You see so many people down here shopping, grabbing lunch. I would say it's been at least a year and a half where if you come down here at lunchtime, you'll have a hard time finding a parking spot, which is good. You'll still only have to walk a block. But yeah, downtown's hopping, and it's carrying over into the rest of our community.
City Council meets tonight. They will be applying for a grant from the state to redo a section of the Martin Luther King Jr. Equality Trail, the path that goes from West Ave all the way to where the Jackson County Cascades path connects. That stretch is woefully old and in disrepair, so they want to widen it and replace it and repair it. Also, tonight the City Council is going to consider approving the change in ward boundaries, which would put, the map that they adopted at the last meeting, would put 20% of Jackson residents in new wards. And City Council person Laura Schlechte, she would be drawn out of her own ward.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
what we need is, you mentioned 20%. We need people to continue to get out and vote, and we still need to encourage people to vote in this town because voter turnout is so low, especially when it comes to city elections.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the amount of renters in the city as well.
Probably.
Just don't feel the need that they have to vote.
I don't know. The city's also going to they're planning to allocate $2.5 million from the American Rescue Plan funds that they have for a new incubator kitchen and food incubator, community kitchen, and job training project in the former Masonic Temple downtown. So they've got nearly $33 million of ARPA money to spend, and they plan to spend about $2.5 million tonight.
That's good. It's very good.
Yeah.
Michigan women's beat Villanova, the basketball team, last night to advance to the Elite Eight. Michigan will play the men's Villanova team. That's Thursday at 7:30. Are you excited?
I am. Do you think it's going to be Hunter Dickinson's last game ever as a Wolverine?
No.
Really?
No, I don't.
A lot of talk about him going pro.
Yeah, well, when you play like he does, you get noticed, and he's an unbelievable player. One thing that's hard to figure out is how these bigs will transfer to NBA talent. The Pistons drafted Luka Garza, who was similar to Dickinson as far as size and domination, and he hardly really plays that much, at the NBA level. So you just don't know. I would love to see him in college, obviously.
Is your bracket busted?
Totally busted up. Totally busted. I think about half of the staff lost their national championship winner.
I
over the
almost
weekend.
picked St. Joseph's.
Who? St. Peter?
St. Peter's. St. Joseph.
Yeah, St.
St. Peter's. Yeah,
Yeah,
almost.
almost. So yeah, it should be an exciting weekend. I'm excited. I'm very excited. So got a little revenge on my mind for Villanova.
This morning, the Jackson Civil War muster announced it's returning this summer. It had not been held for the last 2 years, and they will be back at the Cascades. They moved to Ellis Sharp Park for 2018 and 2019 in a very unpopular move. Now they'll be back where they have been for more than 30 years. This is the 35th year for the Civil War muster, August 27th and 28th. The new president, Maurice Simhoff, also announced today Tripp's Auto Shop and Collision Center has committed $50,000 to help support the event for the next 2 years.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
We've been working with Maurice a little bit on some prep for this, and of course the Trips stepping up as always to help the community, and the variety of events that Phil and Barb participate in is great. They don't just stick to one thing. They really do care about the community as a whole, and these events would not go on without our great community members like them. So
Yeah,
should be good.
He spends annually over $500,000 to support events in the community, and events like Civil War muster just wouldn't happen without Phil Tripp. So thanks, Phil. The muster plans several new additions to this year's event, and because of Phil's generosity and his sponsorship, the event will remain once again this year, as it has for all 35 years, free to attend.
Very good.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, very good.
Yep.
As a lot of us get ready to travel, emails become a huge, issue, and they weigh on you. I was reading an article about emails, and I think it was in the New York Times.
Did you get an email about it?
I got an email about it. So listen to how many emails are sent each day. 330 billion.
That's how many I get.
That's how many I get too. So and the average person spends about 4 hours in and out of their inbox every day fiddling, and this really hit home to me. One thing I'm having a hard time with, and maybe you can help me. The subscription emails, I click unsubscribe, it doesn't work.
No, it's a scam.
It's a scam. We need legislation on that, please. So again, and the advice was take care of the email right away when you get it. So we have a tendency to let emails sit that we don't want to respond to, and all that stress is compounded. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Well, there's a couple of strategies that are recommended. One is only look at your email like twice a day.
Well, that's impossible.
Well, let's see, people are constantly at it. And some companies are mandating that you can't send or receive or look at emails, but work emails after business hours, which would be nice.
Yeah, that would be nice. No,
But people think they can send emails Sunday afternoon or 11 at night, business emails.
Well, I think that's okay. I don't like getting them at that time, but I sure send them at that time. It's hard. Maybe we should get rid of email.
Get rid of it
I
entirely.
would love to get rid of it. While we're talking about spring break, I wanted to give you a few places they say to avoid.
Okay.
Fort Lauderdale, South Padre, Myrtle Beach, Daytona Beach. Those would be the 4 to avoid. Not surprising.
Here's another one, Miami. They have a curfew in place at midnight, so everyone has to be off the streets, off the beaches, out of the bars, home in bed by midnight, and that's for the next 10 days. So, and because, well, there have been some shootings in Miami, and it's just not a safe place to go. So, hope you're not going.
Well, yes, I hope you're not going to where the shootings are. Hope if you are traveling, you're traveling to a luxury resort. Gas prices have been goofy, right? I notice if you drive around, though, you can find a discrepancy. You really can. Yeah, you really can. So I would encourage people to drive around to try and find that best price. So the national average has dropped. It doesn't make sense, but it does. Just ask Shaq. Have you ever heard Shaq explain gas prices and gas money? You just put $20 in and you'll be fine.
There's that one gas station.
No, there's gas. There are. If you drive around, there are.
There's that one like unmarked gas station across from Jimmy's.
That's not the one I'm talking about. That's not the one I'm talking about. You know what's interesting is I worked across the street from that gas station at Country Club Turf when Jim Eccleton's business was over there. It was my summer job. And someone dressed in a Spider-Man costume robbed that gas station one morning.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it was like 20 years ago. 20 years ago. So that's really all I know about that gas station.
We've got, and this might be sad news for you because this was part of your childhood growing up, to Maury Povich. Maury Povich announcing yesterday that he is hanging up the talk show, famous for You Are Not the Father.
I know, we got Brandon with this once, believe it or not. Yeah.
We did have, we've had employees come with that envelope.
We have, and
Yeah.
then we open it on the show.
Yeah.
Just a,
There's a You Are Not the Father salute.
yeah.
Yes. There's a You Are Not the Father board game.
I'd play that. I love when you are not the father. I love the reaction. It's very similar to like hitting a buzzer beater, Game 7 of the NBA Finals, or winning the lottery. The way these people react, it's so fun. I like sometimes when Maury, it says you're not the father, and then oh wait, you are the father. Yeah. So yeah, good for Maury. Yeah. And
remember,
is he still married to Connie Chung?
Connie Chung, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
long marriage.
That's right.
Also ending this year the Wendy Williams show, Ellen DeGeneres show, Nick Cannon show.
Good riddance to Ellen.
What was that show we were going to go to in Chicago? It was like
Jerry?
Maury Povich.
Jerry
Oh yeah,
Springer.
Jerry Springer.
We tried waiting in line to get into the Jerry Springer show, but we could
We had
only
video
get in.
cameras, and they said we can't bring
Yeah,
those.
no. So I think we ended up seeing a taping of the Jenny Jones program. So yeah, very good stuff. Hey, been following obviously the news overseas with the war, and Zelensky is saying he wants to talk to Putin. He's willing to talk. Maybe consider not joining NATO if they'll do a ceasefire. We'll see. I don't think Russia and Putin are really even listening. So we're just going to have more and more of the same. I'm wondering if Russia thinks that the West is just going to stop talking about it and they'll kind of continue to carry on.
That's the fear of many, that the news grows old and the short attention span of the average person will cause the war to leave the front pages.
Yes, and it's certainly, we've seen that happen in the past, and it certainly can. So yeah, I don't know, more of the same, more unanswered questions. U.S. kind of, it's an impossible spot. You don't want to start a war, but you want to be great humanitarian neighbors. So I don't know.
I don't know.
That's why, we have, how many thousands of elected officials. This is on them at this point, trying to figure out the best thing to do.
That's my hope, that not just in this country, but countries throughout the world will respond and react to what apparently is, what everyone's saying, war crimes. How do you...
Yeah, the thing is though, the guy just doesn't care. So it's nuts. Tough to watch, but again, it's going to be something we're watching for a awfully long time.
Yeah. Do we have that dog clip, Noah? Maybe not.
What dog clip?
Dog riding a motorcycle.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Dog riding a motorcycle. A sign of spring.
Is this in Jackson?
Check this out. I don't know. Could be Jackson.
Yeah. Now I like that.
Wait for it.
Yeah. That's cool.
That's awesome.
I've always wanted a pet like that, you know, or a pet squirrel who could water ski or something like that. That's very cool. The dog looks like it was enjoying that.
Oh, why wouldn't he?
Yeah, why wouldn't he? That was nuts. Hey, it's crazy.
A couple of new spring beverages out, new products, and we haven't done this in a while.
Yeah, I was hoping you had some today.
Coors Light has come out with a new product, a new 6-pack of lollipops,
Really?
beer-flavored lollipops. They say that sucking on these can have a calming effect. They're not alcoholic.
So like CBD oil?
Chilolo Pop.
Am I supposed to guess if this is real or not?
It's real.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that seems like it would be illegal because
No
you know,
alcohol in it. And-
Even so, you're getting kids familiar with the brand, and next thing you know, they're going to be drinking those silver bags.
It's like candy cigarettes.
You
But
can still buy those.
they probably taste awful. Another thing that probably tastes awful, and maybe it's real, maybe it's not.
Oh my gosh!
Old Bay vodka.
Good for
the
Fridays
popular
and Lent.
Seasoning. Old Bay seasoning now in vodka. Is that real or not?
It's probably real.
It's real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's nice. Really good. Old Bay.
Perfect. Well, you know what? This would be good in a Bloody Mary.
I'm sure it would. Yeah. Or, I don't know. You could marinate fish in it.
Or you could just put some Old Bay seasoning in your drink.
Or you could just put it in an Aquafina bottle and drink it. But anyways, today's show is brought to you by Homesteady, a full-service one-stop shop for all of your home's needs. Homesteady provides warranty, seasonal maintenance, and handyman services. All of their service efforts will make your home feel cared for with a dedicated service team you can trust. Protect your most valuable asset, your home. Call Homesteady today, 833-496-9466.
I'm missing the Extreme Dodge Jackson County High School sports scoreboard. What's going on? It's
We're in a lull.
Low.
We have a lull. Yeah, spring sports are practicing. I think there are some games scheduled, but you know how it is with the weather and the field conditions.
Mm-hmm.
But if there is a sporting event, you can believe that we'll have it covered.
Now, someone will have to tell me where this is happening, but the Jackson College baseball fields, softball fields are under construction. So I think they're going to be playing their home games at Vandercook. I'm not sure.
Okay, we'll find that out.
But they are starting their season before high school, so if you really want to see some great spring sports, we've got Jackson College and Spring Arbor University. They have both started their seasons. So check out their websites for their game schedules. Head out to the Arbor or to, not JC, but probably Vandercook.
Yeah, we'll find that out.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
So, who's on the show today?
Got a great show lined up today. We have Brian Filson, CEO at Highfields, and he's with Steve Dorr, who's the superintendent at East Jackson. They'll join us right after this.
At Blair's Car Care, honesty and customer satisfaction have always been the most important thing for us. We have been serving loyal customers in Jackson County for almost 100 years. We do auto repair of all sorts, including tires, alignment, brakes, oil changes, and much more. For more information, please call 517-782-8116 or come stop by at 2424 Wildwood Avenue and experience for yourself what makes Blair's so special.
At Consumers Energy, we believe change is empowering, powering both your home and your business. change is progress. With a modernized grid that can detect outages and restore power within seconds. Change is reliable. We're talking preventing over 35,000 outages last year reliable. And change is enduring, like our dedication to keep your power running, just as it should. Consumers Energy, a force for you, a force of change.
Improving the air quality in your home isn't a luxury, it's improving your family's lives. Our staff do each job carefully, completely, and with great attention paid to you, the homeowner. We take care to leave each home better than we found it, and when you take your first breath after one of our cleanings, I'm sure you'll agree. We can help keep your home cleaner and your air safer by scheduling a cleaning today. Dux, we're your indoor air professionals.
Searching for medical supplies can be a challenging aspect of the healthcare system, but with help from Brown's Advanced Care Medical Supplies, you can set your worries aside. Our expert staff takes the time to give each of our customers the personal attention they deserve and are trained to find the right products for each individual. If you can't come to us, then let our delivery team come to you to help set up your supplies so you can get back to what really matters, living your life. Brown's Advanced Care Medical Supplies. Locally owned, locally operated, locally loved.
Welcome back to the morning show on JTV. Community health centers like the Center for Family Health are vital in providing top-notch care to anyone who walks through the door, regardless of race, color, creed, or financial status. We are grateful for our talented team of medical professionals, our hometown heroes who work hard every day to keep us healthy and help better our community one patient at a time. We thank our hometown heroes who have committed themselves to our community and to you. The Center for Family Health has been opening the door to healthcare for all in Jackson County for more than 30 years.
Joining us now are two gentlemen whose organizations are teaming up. The CEO of Highfields, Brian Filson, and Superintendent of East Jackson Schools, Steve Dorr. Good morning.
Morning, guys.
Hey, good morning. It's good to be here.
Yeah, you guys are teaming up, and it's not the first time you're teaming with a school district.
No, it's not. We're actually celebrating our 15th year of doing after-school programs throughout Mid-Michigan. We're very excited to be able to, when Steve and East Jackson reached out, to add them to our portfolio. That's great.
Yeah, so this is the Reaching Higher program, correct?
Yep. They're 21st century after-school grants, and they're competitive. We apply, we receive the funding, and then we're actually in the process of renewing our grant, and we're including East Jackson, and we hope to win that and include them for the next 5 years.
So Steve, this is something you guys started in January, but you're going to see the benefits of this. Talk a little bit about what this does for the district.
Well, it's part of a bigger picture. We have a lot of students, in spite of our best efforts for the last 2 years, they've fallen behind. Mm-hmm. Our students have fallen behind, and it looks different in elementary school. The kids that have fallen behind off track for reading versus high school kids that are behind in credits toward graduation because they had an extended isolation or COVID worms through their family for a period of months and got them behind. In the middle grades, it's particularly difficult because those kids are just seeing their own self-identity. They're seeing themselves as the smart one or the athletic one, and they start to embrace that. And COVID's disrupted that significantly. So, when we're looking at this big picture of what do we do to get kids caught up, it looks different in different ways. It just made sense. Our summer school efforts from last summer weren't as impactful in those middle grades. And what kids needed was they needed more mentoring. They needed more one-to-one mentoring, and that's exactly what Highfields does. I think if you ask many folks around the area, extended area around Jackson County, what's the gold standard for after-school programs, they would think Highfields Reach Higher program.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
A lot of people just assume that we've lost. Kids weren't able to get everything they needed in the last 2 years. We'll do better next time, but you're making a concerted effort to make sure that even these last few months of 2022 school year, you're gonna do things to make sure that they're not left behind.
Yeah. Now we started discussion, somewhere in summer. It was around July of last year, and our most optimistic effort would have been to launch in the fall, but we were well behind that. COVID was still kind of lurking in the shadows through fall, where every week was a little bit worse than the week before. And we had that slow climb of cases and impact that kept getting worse and worse. And then, what we saw this year delayed us. So, it wasn't ideal to start and launch an after-school program January 10th. But we kind of pulled the stops out and said we got to do the best we can. We didn't have huge engagement right away from parents because they were still very anxious in January about what was going on with COVID. Since January 10th to now, we've almost tripled our engagement, and I think by the fall we will triple yet again. And the level of mentoringship and support that our students are receiving is second to none. And Highfield's been a wonderful partner coming on board. Brenda and Kelly have been exceptional in their planning and organization and working with some of our staff to get kids back on track.
Yeah, and it's a great partnership. I mean, East Jackson really provides the host, and they, we bring our staff in, but most of our staff that work the program are really East Jackson employees that just we hire for a few hours after school to come in. So they know the building, they know the kids. It has been a great partnership.
And it's more than improving your reading skills. It's social skills, like you said, the mentorship. You've had a lot of kids in and out of these programs. Talk a little bit about the program as a whole and what it does for kids.
Yeah, we really have 3 goals. I don't know if we have the slide, but there are 3 goals in terms of increasing student academic success, and we do a great job with that. Decreasing misbehavior during the school day, and teachers absolutely love that, because we work on pro-social skills, how to problem solve, and increasing family engagement. Anytime you can get a parent who buys into what's going on with their child's education school program, and then finally improving their student social skills, which you talked a little bit about. And we actually have a federal evaluator that comes in and evaluates all our programs, and across the board, we do a great job on all 4 of those goals, and we're just really excited to partner with East Jackson in that regard.
Steve, are you concentrating on specific grade levels for this program?
7 through 9 right now. We'd like to also, above and beyond that, to expand to credit recovery. We haven't been able to get that in the mix of this as well, to offer another alternative for high schoolers that have fallen behind. We are doing comprehensive credit recovery during the summer months, but I think we want to embed that into the school year somehow. One of the hard parts and challenges of doing this during the school day is it makes the day a lot longer, and some kids are ready for that. Some kids have some obstacles, transportation being one. So we provide transportation home, so the parents don't have that concern. We drop them off right at their house. And this is 4 days a week, and it's 2 hours a day, so it's enough time to have an impact on all of the goals that we're talking about. And we also engage with food service. They get a snack and a meal beyond the school day. And there really is, the more we can take away obstacles to participation, the more likely we're going to have students and families engage and have a positive impact.
How are kids identified and placed? Are they spoken to individually, reach out to their parents? How does that work?
So our procedures there kind of set up with Brenda and our staff. Do you want to talk more about that?
Yeah, so the beauty of, once a school is chosen, any student in that district is eligible to participate. And so there are no exclusions. Any kid that wants to participate, regardless of their academic status, regardless of socioeconomic background, any kid that wants to participate is eligible to participate. And so there's a referral form. A lot of times teachers will advertise it in their classes and send flyers home with parents, and then we go to whatever activities, set up booths, and so family members can learn more about the program.
Steve, what happens when kids have a rough year, things like that, and don't get on the right track? I mean, you see kids K through 12. What happens to those students if they kind of fall back a few years and don't do anything to try and improve their their grades or things like that?
Well, I think there's a number of supports that we have in place. We've invested heavily in social emotional learning efforts, trying to get those across every single grade level in every classroom. That's been a big push collectively and has a lot of buy-in. the administrators do regular check-ins on how many students are falling behind and in what areas do we need to put extra resources. But we also have a lot of mental health supports in the background, which is hard to recognize at first. So you have to have social workers and counselors that are leaning in. During the heaviest COVID times, we did regular quick screeners for social supports. We have 3 social workers and a guidance counselor throughout our whole district. So we're about 250 to 1, which is about ideal. So we leaned in heavily to make sure that we were very aware of what was going on the behavioral mental health. So those are some things that we have in place to kind of get a feel for what's going on in the background and sometimes in the shadows when people were disengaging. So, I mean, we have a lot of layers of supports on that end.
Steve Dorr, Superintendent of East Jackson Schools, and Brian Folsom, CEO of Highfields, with us. More of Steve and Brian after this.
If you're looking for a high-quality, affordable alternative to the emergency room, then come to IEP Urgent Care's new location in Jackson. It's the same great ER physicians who have been providing care through our local hospitals since 2008, but now with a new location to serve you better. Our ER-trained providers believe high-quality care is for everyone, so we work with all insurances, including Medicaid and Medicare. Come see us on East Michigan Ave.
Finding the home of your dreams is exciting. I'm Andy Bloom with Pillar to Post Home Inspectors, and I look forward to taking the next step with you in securing that dream, the home inspection. Having the correct information about the condition of a home empowers you to make the best possible choice when purchasing a property. As your home inspection professional, I ensure confident home ownership with a detailed and objective inspection of the overall condition of the property. Pillar to Post Home Inspectors provides you with peace of mind.
You need a plumber? Grimes Plumbing Company. Licensed and insured, proudly serves the Jackson area with fast, reliable service and competitive pricing, both for repairs and new installs. For fast, reliable plumbing service, call Grimes Plumbing today. And remember, we love water.
Hi, I'm Richard King. I've been working on cars for over 38 years, and 10 years of that has been here in Jackson. I'm an ASC certified master technician. What makes King's Auto different from the rest out there is that we take the time to diagnose the cars properly the first time around. We fix what the others can't. Whether it's an oil change or a head gasket repair, wheel bearings to spark plugs, at King's Auto and Truck will get you in and out and get it done right the first time around. Then bring your car or truck over here to King's Auto and Truck, 4114 East Michigan Avenue in Jackson.
Welcome back to the morning show. We're with Brian Filson, CEO at Highfields, and Steve Dorr, Superintendent at East Jackson Schools, and talking about a great partnership that you guys have going. I wanted to ask, what leaders at East Jackson are taking on some of the role here with this program?
Well, as far as the leadership, we've got Mr. Jordan has stepped up as the program director.
Awesome.
We have Mrs. Schramm as one of the teachers. There's a couple other people kind of on the fence once we get to expanding to another classroom. And I'm trying to put extra resources in place so we can get some availability to expand. I think we have budgeted up to 3 classrooms. That's a capacity of 45 kids.
That's great.
It's probably something you'd love to have in every school district.
It would be, and as it's always hard as we're writing for our new grant, we had to really kind of narrow it down to 5 schools, and you have to be strategic because you want to win the grant, and so you need schools that would score points in the rubric of the grant, but you also want to be able to serve everybody. So, but we are excited. East Jackson is included in our grant. We're going to submit that in a week and a half, and we'll know.
I want to take a quick minute to talk about some of the successes at EJ this past winter with your students and student athletes, wrestlers, basketball teams. You had really
a pretty good year.
Yeah.
Yeah, our girls varsity team really had wonderful chemistry, strong work ethic, and good things happened from those two things, right? We had some wrestlers, our girls wrestling meet, we had state runner-up. She got edged in a tiebreaker in overtime by 1 point. So it was almost state champion. That's Isabel Worthing. We've had a few other things going on throughout the entire year, but I think what everyone has really loved is now that things are returning to back to normal, and I use my finger quotes with that. What students are really excited about is getting back to a PEP assembly that we have, and we haven't had one of those in 2 years, right?
Yeah.
And we actually got to do that, and they just loved it, got fired up, had so much fun during the winter homecoming. Homecoming is a little bit subdued, but it feels like we're in a different space now.
There's a new podcast available, Talking with Trojans, and I know you're proud of that. What is the content behind the Talking with Trojans podcast?
Well, this is students that lead this in grades 3 through 6.
Oh, wow.
The students are leading it, overseen by Mrs. Rebant, our STEAM teacher, and they're having a lot of fun just interviewing their teachers about simple things about which teacher had a big impact on them, what are some memorable things from elementary school that you still carry with you as an adult. And it's so fun to listen to folks in our school just have those conversations led by students. And it's a lot of fun.
Especially at that age, that sounds fun.
It is. It's Talking with Trojans. It's available on Spotify and Apple.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I know that we're just 2 months into this program, barely. So is there any way that you're able to gauge the success of how it's working?
Well, I think we're doing measures as we go.
Right. So I think we're coming up on our first evaluation, and so we'll know more once those numbers are in. We'll do that towards the end of the year, but yeah, I mean, just by the level of engagement, how the program's growing by word of mouth, I think it's been a success already.
And manufacturing has been really a key for school districts, and it's not something that schools really can ignore. You have to really push this. There's a lot of opportunities for kids after school into the local trades and manufacturing. You guys recently received a grant.
Yeah, the state put together a grant with the coordination of the Society of Manufacturing Engineers, and East Jackson was one of 16 schools in the state that was awarded this grant. We're still starting to look at how we implement this. Our implementation will be very different than, say, Troy Public Schools, something that is 10 times our size. And sometimes tech centers apply for this grant and we're awarded it. Ours locally, we want to not duplicate effort with the Career Center. We want to channel kids in to the programs that are there. What I think a lot of schools see locally is students will fall behind early on. This is before COVID. And then if they fail a math class or an English class, they're doubling down in order to get on track to graduate. Suddenly they can't do Career Center because that puts them more behind. So what we're trying to do is catch kids and get them interested in science and math with these micro-credentials. Get them engaged in the real work that people would do. The manufacturers in our area, talking to the Jackson Area Manufacturers Association, when I asked Bill Rail who's looking for workers and would want to engage as a partnership, his answer was all of them. Mm-hmm. All of them really want people with some level of skill, just a basic level of skill and a good work ethic and soft skills, and everyone else will train them as they go. But they could make a reasonable living being on this track. Yeah. So a lot of students that are disconnected with math just don't see that. They have dug into their position of, I don't like math, math is not valuable for me, and then they lose more ground as time goes on as they get frustrated and doors close to them. So we're trying to catch them early, structure it so that kids get on track to this, and we don't have a partner yet. It's very early in this grant process, but we're getting those discussions going now for launching a very exciting program in the fall.
That's awesome. Before we get out of here, the golf outing, which is one of the best events of the year, the Highfields Golf Outing. When is that, Brad?
It's Monday, June 6th, Forest Acres West, and very excited. Already got our title sponsor lined up, and yeah, love to have you guys out.
See how fast Andy wanted to switch away from talking about math?
Yes,
I
saw that.
That's, hey, I'm not very good at it.
We'll look forward to the golf outing. I know it's always popular and fills up fast, so if you want to get in it, get in it. Thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
guys.
guys.
Good to be here.
Thanks, Amy.
Steve Dorr, Superintendent at EJ, and Highfield CEO Brian Felsen. We'll continue talking about education. Stay tuned.
The PIC Center is an independent practice that has provided care to the Jackson area for over 25 years. Doctors O'Neill and Cack supervise antibiotic infusions, as well as those for many other conditions, such as inflammatory bowel, joint, and lung disease, anemia, and multiple sclerosis. Our modern facility is open 7 days a week, and the infusion staff will make you feel right at home. Let your doctor know you have a choice where you receive your next infusion. Remember, when you've picked us, you've picked the best.
The Lost Railway Museum is dedicated to preserving the nearly forgotten interurban railway, and we want you to experience it firsthand. Our 2 rail cars are constantly being restored, giving our past new life in the present. Our museum is also a community center with facilities and engaging displays to add something special to any event. Bring your family and uncover our history one track at a time at the Lost Railway Museum.
I'm Amy Leanhart, owner of Allegra Printing of Jackson. We have grown from a quick print shop into a commercial printing company. Full color printing, on-site graphic design, variable data printing, and much more. Come see us at Allegra Printing of Jackson, 1232 Southwest Avenue.
Welcome to the Blessed Nest, located in between JTV and Tilted Arcade, 2 doors down from the Dirty Bird. We are a proud realtor of Vera Bradley, Brighton Jewelry, women's clothing, shoes, and boots. We have a great selection of unique gifts for the whole family, home decor, wall art, and furniture. We also have a baby section and men's gift section. We appreciate our customers shopping local because you not only help our business and employees, but also the community that we donate to and sponsor all through the year.
Welcome back to the morning show on JTV. Our show today is brought to you by Jackson's Playhouse. If you're staying in town for spring break, make sure you plan to visit Jackson's Playhouse for fun while your littles are home from school. At Jackson's, the fun, imaginative play never stops. Visit Jackson's Playhouse near the Ferguson Mall, in the Ferguson Mall near Knight's Steakhouse.
We have 2 principals from Jackson Public Schools from the brand new John R. Lewis Elementary School, Jill Weatherwax, and from Sharp Park Academy, Jess Gillespie. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
What's life like at the brand new school?
It's great.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's great being a newly formed staff and students together, and we're loving the building. It's gorgeous, and we get lots of compliments when guests come into the building. So it's been a great year so far. We're enjoying it.
Have the kids that were at a different school and then now at your school, have they really enjoyed the brand new aspect of it?
Yes, and it's been fun for them to kind of form their new relationships and their new friendships within their classrooms and within the school. So yeah, it's been a great year.
It's a bright, colorful, exciting furniture, neat play spaces. Students, I think, were attracted to a new school. Who doesn't want to go to a new school? Are you drawing from a further geography because of that?
Yeah, we have kids that were in other districts last year and other schools. So we have a good mix of students from various places, so that's been fun too.
And poor Jasper, her school's old and run down.
Yeah,
well, but good things come to those who wait. We were the last ones on the bond renovations, and we're actually, the bid package went out. It was approved by the board this last week. We're super excited to be getting ready to start with construction and renovation of the interior spaces, plus an addition for us. And then one of the best things is we're getting an upgrade to our parking.
Yes, I know that. I know. We were just talking about that
Yeah.
before the break. I've seen
Yeah,
some.
so we're excited about that. We're looking forward to having those changes take place in the building.
Our floor director and production manager, his son attends school
Yeah.
at Sharp Park, and he just raves about it. What do you love about the school?
So it's a great little school. We have a lot of diversity in the building, and especially this year. New to the building, we have a full-time TOESOL teacher, which is a teacher of students of other languages. So we have Japanese-speaking families, Chinese-speaking families, Spanish-speaking families, Urdu-speaking families. We have a full-time Spanish speaker in the building to help facilitate English language acquisition for those students. In addition, we have paraprofessionals that are speaking Japanese to help facilitate those students that's not our primary language. So as part of that, we've really infused a lot of culture into the building. So kids are learning Spanish as part of their specials. And then the language, we've just been plastering all of the languages all over. So all of our signage appears in 3 languages
That's
right
awesome.
now. Yeah.
Is John R. Lewis known for something? Is there a distinction that your school has, like Jasper's?
We're a STEAM school, so science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. So that's one of our specials. We have PE and we have STEAM, and we have a gorgeous STEAM room, and we have the space teacher for our STEAM teacher, Alita Dom. Veteran, she's the NASA lady. So yeah, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math is our focus.
That's awesome. So it's kindergarten and young 5 roundups, and what are the dates?
I think we're the 22nd.
We're 18th.
Cool.
Oh no, we're the 20th, pardon me. Yeah. Kindergarten Roundup is a great time of year for us. You know, it's being an established school, we're getting to see all of the younger siblings of our older students. So, you know, you see these babies being born when like my 5th graders were kindergartners, and they've matriculated up, and now their younger siblings are all coming to school. So that's always just really fun. And then plus meeting new families, and exciting time, because kindergarten and young 5s is the foundation of learning, and there's so much happening. It's such a great time of life for those kiddos, and our first school experience stays with us. Kind of how we perceive that kindergarten experience kind of carries us through our senior year, and you know, the JPS, the hype starts here, but what we say in the elementaries is the hype starts with us.
We have a little video, a day in the life of a kindergartner.
I start my day on the bus.
Morning.
Then I eat tasty breakfast. I make sure all my stuff gets in my cubby. Then we get to have carpet time with Mrs. Totes. I even learn colors in Spanish. Mi camisa es gris. We have work centers, so I can learn to read, write, and spell. After work centers, we get to play at recess. So I swing or play hide and seek. I always make sure to have a healthy lunch. Then we get to listen to our teacher read us a story. Sometimes I just need a rest, so we take a brain break. After all that, day is over, it's time to go home. I can't wait to do it all over again tomorrow.
Kindergarten is a scary time sometimes for parents. What should parents know about going to the kindergarten roundup? You guys really, there's opportunities to meet with some of your partners. It's really more than just a look at the classroom.
Right. Community comes together, and we want to make it kind of a one-stop shopping for parents and for families to be able to get all of the things that they need checked off their kindergarten preparation list. You know, the hearing and the vision screening. We have people there to check MICRs for them, so immunization records can be, looked at. Appointments can be made to get immunizations, done. JCISD is there, so if parents have concerns about like speech or, PT, OT, exceptional student services, those people are there to kind of help them navigate that process. And then, it's the idea of that familiarity. Our staff is there, principals are there, we're greeting families, getting to know kids, putting names to faces. But I think one of the other things that JPS does a really, really nice job of is the week before school starts, we do kindergarten boot camp. And we open up the school for half a day for the kids to come in. It's just the kindergartners in the building. It's just our kindergarten staff. They kind of get the opportunity to get the willies out, come in, kind of get used to some of those routines, coming into the building, hanging up coats, breakfast, lunch, we do some learning activities, maybe a little bit of pre-assessment for getting ready for the year, but that really eases the nerves for the kids, but it also gives parents a peace of mind about knowing that their kids are in good hands and that their kids feel secure and happy about their experience.
Yeah, that's great. What, did you both know that you wanted to be in education when you were growing up in school, or when did you guys decide?
I did. In elementary school, I thought teachers were amazing and magical and so cool. Come to find out, not every kid thinks that but all the time, but I did, and so yeah, I wanted to be an educator for a long time.
Public education saved me.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up in a very interesting set of circumstances. My parents were hippies, and I lived in a Volkswagen van for periods of time. You know, I mean, we traveled a lot, and I had a lot of great experiences, but you know, we were poor, and you know, if it wasn't for a good quality public education and you know, teachers who cared about me and made sure that I knew that they were happy to see me every day. I missed a lot of school growing up, and it could have been the total opposite, but public educators really made the difference in my life, and so for me, it's the opportunity to give back.
That's awesome.
It's amazing how much the principal of a building influences the educational experience.
Oh yeah.
Especially in your schools, I've been to Sharp Park Academy a few times, and I've been to your school a couple times. And every school, obviously they're different, you know, physically, but the personality is really different at the schools. And parents, they can pop in to more than one of the schools.
Oh, of course. Yes, and so a couple of the other events at the kindergarten roundup that eases parents is that transportation is there, so they can make sure they know exactly where and how and when their child is getting on and off the bus, and they can even get onto a bus and check it out. Food service is there. They put together a little packet where you can practice opening all the packages and putting the straw in. And I learned something from kindergartners today about how to properly open a banana. Do you guys know?
No.
All right, or this year I learned this. I did not know this. You open it from the bottom.
Really?
Try it out.
Okay.
Yes. So I learned from the kindergartners this year.
And this is class of 2036. That's.
Whew. So JPS provides all the kindergartners T-shirts with the class of,
That's
and
cool.
so I have, I have a whole little collection of them in my back office, and it just blows my mind. 2036 graduates.
It's stunning. It's amazing to think about. You don't think it's going to be here, but it'll be here before you know it.
You know, I have trouble getting the straw in the drink boxes.
Right? We'll bring you a little kid next time so you can practice, and a banana with it so you can practice.
Do kids still bring the Capri Suns where they squeeze it and it goes everywhere?
That's part of the idea behind practices. We want to make sure that kindergarten is a fun time in the cafeteria that first week, and so that really does kind of help ease that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then by this time of the year, they're don't
pros.
need any help.
Right,
yeah,
old pros.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, round them up and bring them in for Young Fives and K Roundup at Jackson Public Schools, coming up all throughout JPS after spring break. Have a much-deserved spring break.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jasper Lusby, Sharp Park Academy principal, and principal at John R. Lewis Elementary, Jill Weatherwax. More of the morning show in a moment.
The PIC Center is an independent practice that has provided care to the Jackson area for over 25 years. Doctors O'Neill and Cack supervise antibiotic infusions, as well as those for many other conditions, such as inflammatory bowel, joint, and lung disease, anemia, and multiple sclerosis. Our modern facility is open 7 days a week, and the infusion staff will make you feel right at home. Let your doctor know you have a choice where you receive your next infusion. Remember, when you've picked us, you've picked the best.
Improving the air quality in your home isn't a luxury, it's improving your family's lives. Our staff do each job carefully, completely, and with great attention paid to you, the homeowner. We take care to leave each home better than we found it, and when you take your first breath after one of our cleanings, I'm sure you'll agree. We can help keep your home cleaner and your air safer by scheduling a cleaning today. Dux, we're your indoor air professionals.
Collins Brothers floor covering in 15 seconds. Plush carpet, pattern carpet, commercial carpet, carpet tile, ceramic tile, porcelain tile, glass tile, decorative tile, floor tile, wall tile, shower tile, subway tile, marble tile, wood tile, vinyl tile, and much more. Collins Brothers downtown. Whew.
For over 35 years, Nostalgia Inc. has been Jackson's home for all things comics, graphic novels, and games. Whether it's Spider-Man, Batman, X-Men, The Walking Dead, or even Stranger Things and Star Wars, Nostalgia's friendly staff has decades of experience and can find the perfect gift for that fanatic in your life. With the largest selection and inventory of the latest comics, you're always sure to find something new and different at Nostalgia. Looking for something from years back? Our backstock selection can't be beat. And don't forget to ask about our subscription service so you never miss an issue. Into Magic the Gathering, D&D, Pokemon, or tabletops? We've got everything you could ever need. Whether you're starting a new hobby, a seasoned collector, or just shopping for that superhero in your life, Nostalgia Inc. is the place for you. Nostalgia Inc. on Mechanic Street in downtown Jackson.
Welcome back to the morning show on JTV. Former Michigan Center and Alma College standout Dylan Zaborowski has been announced as the Hanover Horton football coach. So,
oh, wow.
Remember, Dylan helped quarterback the Cards to the playoffs a few years and then had a nice career at Alma. So he's back head coaching at Hanover, so that should be great.
That's awesome. We'll have a few new football head coaches this coming fall. Be interesting to see how that changes the fortunes of the football teams.
Yeah, for sure.
You noticed bags are getting smaller?
What kind of bags?
We have a new thing, not inflation, shrinkflation. Products are getting smaller so that companies can make more money and give you less. Get less, pay more.
Wow.
So fewer chips and Fritos, less toothpaste in the tube, 70 fewer raisins in the Sun-Made raisins.
There's hardly any raisins in raisins anyways.
Yeah, and the Charmin, you'll go through that a lot faster.
Brandon, you know what my grandmother told me when I was little?
What's that?
That you should only use 3 sheets of toilet paper. And I remember thinking, that's not going to work out well. What was she thinking telling me that? I must have used a lot. Anyways.
I think Sebastian Maniscalco, look up one of his skits about toilet paper.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
He uses like half a roll. Yeah. And he does the thing where he's, wraps it up and, it's like.
We go through an awful lot of toilet paper here at JTV. Lot. Hey, if your kids are staying home or you're not going anywhere for spring break, there's plenty of things to do. Talked about Jackson's Playhouse. Head out there. Good idea. Rent a room at the Holiday Inn Jackson Northwest. Swim. Have your kids stay the night. Do a little overnight. Be fun. And then Jackson YMCA has some great camps as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of organizations, the museum, the library. The Y will be gearing up to make sure spring break's fun for everyone that is sticking around town. Who's on tomorrow's show?
Tomorrow we have Dana Brown from Jackson Area Association of Realtors, Wendy Clow from Habitat Humanity, and Phil Fischmeister, Director of Golf from Cascades.
Later today, Martha Firstenow from American One, Christy Myers from Lean Rocket Lab, Michigan Works Southeast Head, Shamar Aaron Dimmick, Angie Scudder, and Sherry Lynn. That's this afternoon. We'll see you then.
Yes, we know, pet insurance can be a bit confusing, but it doesn't have to be. The Personal Lines team at